Welcome to SEC Network Basketball presented by Regions Bank. A critical top 20 matchup from Rocky Top. Folks, there is no chill in the SEC from game to game. Number 11, Kentucky. Number 17, Tennessee. The Cats looking to pick up an SEC road win. Lady Vols, one of 3 unbeatens in SEC play. As we say hello and welcome in, proud and privileged to be here with you and alongside the Hall of Famer and the timeless wonder, Carolyn Peck. I'm Tiffany Green. Well, both teams are tracking as national seeds in the latest bracketology, but you understand that this is a big game field, and you look back to last year's matchup between these two, very similar scenario. Can they flip the script this year, maybe,
well,
as the home team?
Remember last year, Tiffany, Tennessee jumped Kentucky in the ranking, and then Tennessee had to go to Lexington. Well, the Wildcats had something to prove. Clara Strack had a phenomenal game. Kentucky broke that press, and they were able to not just inch by, they really dominated that game from start to finish.
When you talk about Clara Strack, she had 23 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks in that game. By the way, she was perfect from the floor. She's going to need another follow-up performance against the Lady Vols like that tonight.
With Clara Strack averaging a double-double, 16 points, 10 rebounds, playing inside, and getting even more comfortable of pulling the trigger from the three-point line. She's going to have to do that today as Kentucky breaks the press. That 3 might be the best shot available, and she's got to pull the trigger. But now Kentucky's going to have their hands full because Talaysia Cooper is like, Tiffany, when you plug in your curling iron and it heats up, that's what it's like putting Talaysia Cooper into the game, because she brings the energy, the effort. After she scores it, she's at the front of that press. And listen, this young woman is averaging over 3 steals a game that leads to her offense.
Yeah, she looks to be hot like an oven tonight for the Lady Vols. And Clara Strack, she is one of the best in the country in terms of swats, averaging 3 blocks a game inside Thompson Bowling Arena. And look, folks, here in Knoxville, they understand that this is a big game. Everyone is all so important, as Tennessee, coming off their first ranked win of the season, taking down Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Meanwhile, Kentucky looking to bounce back after Sunday's loss in Starkville to Mississippi State. Lady Vols starting out 5-0 in SEC play for the first time since the 2022-23 season. The fans always so great here in Knoxville. And as things are almost set to get underway, maybe a quick malfunction of the shot clock, some issue there. And so while we have this opportunity, let's introduce you to the head coaches for each of these programs. Kim Caldwell in her 2nd season here at Tennessee, where she came on with a big change and shift in the way they play here at Tennessee, and certainly it has gotten everybody excited here in Rocky Top for what is to come through her tenure. Kenny Brooks, so cool, so steady. 2nd season with Kentucky, most wins through a head coach's first 50 games in program history. He has been to a WNIT or NCAA tournament every year since 2005. And Carolyn, I don't know about you, but we've been ready for this game to tip off.
I know the players are disappointed, the slow start. I've been looking forward to getting started. I was ready. We were all hyped up, and now we got to wait.
Well, I'm going to take a little line from a popular song. Hype me up. Wait. Hype me up. Come on. Hype me up. All right. I'm going to hype me up. Meanwhile, we can tell our viewers at home, hey, look, you're celebrating 60 years on this earth, so happy birthday, partner. We'll get into that a little bit more as each team retreats to their bench for the time being as they try to work out this malfunction. The 11th ranked Kentucky Wildcats, who have been so good against ranked opponents this season, knocked off a couple of top 5 teams in LSU. The last was Oklahoma. They took down Louisville in the non-conference as well. one of the reasons why they're so effective, the way they protect the rim. Second in the nation in blocks, leading the SEC. And of course, they've got a terrific and veteran point guard in Tony Morgan.
Yeah, Tony Morgan has been dynamic for the Kentucky Wildcats because remember last year, Kentucky had Georgia Amore. What does Kenny Brooks do but go out and get another experienced point guard that has a different style but works well with the team they have this year. She is a point guard that knows when to go and when to whoa. And I mean, she has put on some performances. She was huge against LSU. This is a point guard that can create her shot at any time. She's got that wiggle.
Talk about the different styles of play. You will see these two teams running up and down the floor. A very up-tempo offense for Tennessee. That run and jump predicated on a lot of pressure. And so in the orange and white, see Spearman and Clara Strack jump it up and controlling the tip to start things as Leopoldo has to wrestle it away. The promising freshman who is already off to an awesome start for the Lady Vols.
And Tiff, you were talking about Tony Morgan for Kentucky, the point guard, a freshman. Mia Paldo brings great confidence, and that young woman also terrific at taking care of the basketball.
Kicks it over to Lasia Cooper, step back three, back iron, coming up with the offensive rebound. One of those freshmen on the floor for Kim Caldwell tonight, Denia Brawl.
Yeah, the freshmen have stepped up big as of late against Alabama and Arkansas. They are really understanding the system. That's a great cut by Latham.
Alyssa Latham, who is picked up her play and getting her footing. And how about the pressure there? This is exactly what Tennessee loves to do. They want to disrupt you and they want to put pressure on you. The starting five for the Wildcats have to value the basketball, take care of it. Tony Morgan, Asia Boone in the backcourt for Kenny Brooks.
A key of breaking this Tennessee press is you don't want to catch it in the corners, and once the ball comes in, clear out so that you're an outlet when that run and jump happens.
Tony Morgan able to get it across half court. You talked about her terrific play, especially against ranked opponents. And an out of bounds as the foot stepped on the inline, and a turnover for the Wildcats in their opening offensive possession.
So 2 turnovers in a row by Kentucky, and what does that do? That fuels the gas for the engine for the Lady Vols. That's what they thrive on, in turning you over, getting stops, and then their offense gets to work.
Well, they force better than 21 turnovers a game, and that bounce pass, ill-advised there from Cooper, the turnover into the hands of the visiting Wildcats. Asia Boone, who has been in the starting rotation as the Wildcats without Tiani Key for another game, who entered her non-shooting arm earlier in SEC play.
I can guarantee you, Tennessee is not wanting to give Boone daylight because she is a sniper from the three-point line.
Coming up with the rebound, it's Cooper who finds Spearman in rhythm and bounces out, but Paldo is there to pick up the old board, crashing the glass. One of the things that Kim Caldwell talked to us about earlier today, and the importance of that if they're going to try to pick up a win against Kentucky. And Clara Strack with the foul there on Spearman.
Now that's huge with Clara Strack. Less than 4 minutes gone in this quarter, and she's already picked up her first foul. Remember, no Tiani Key, so not a lot of depth of rotation in for Kentucky.
Strack, the junior out of Buffalo, New York, is going to have to play disciplined basketball, understanding they're going to look to attack and take her out of the mix early on.
And I think Z Spearman is going to be key with that. Settled for a three-point shot early in the possession. Next time it came back to her, I think what we saw is what Kim Caldwell wants, and that's attack the paint. I hear Kim talking a lot about she wants to, yeah, they shoot a lot of threes, but she wants to play from the inside out.
And Kim Caldwell, just the formula for play and how you even get on the court here with Tennessee. Points, assists, rebounds, steals, all played in the mix, take away those turnovers, and that's how you earn yourself a start. Breaking the press successfully again, the Wildcats are able to do so. Offensively, what's going to be important for Kentucky tonight, as that one's blocked by Spearman.
Well, I think that Kentucky can't be patient. If you break the press, go to score. Kenny Brooks didn't want them to pull it back out and run a set offense.
Paldo, a great playmaker, going right at Hassett, who made it tough for her in the mismatch on the way to the hoop. Paldo hampering, pesking Morgan as she gets it back. And Toni Morgan rises, fires, and off the mark, but Obi is there on the offensive rebound, leaves it short, and the Lady Vols come up with it.
Yeah, offensive rebound is going to be key for both of these teams, because that was the problem last year. Tennessee missed shots, and Kentucky was getting the rebound and going the other end.
And they attempt a ton of threes a game, 32 to be exact. That's the second most in Division I. And Strack running the floor, rewarded by Morgan with the assist. One of the best assisters in the game you'll see tonight, and Toni Morgan.
That you asked me what Kentucky needed to do. That transition kind of basketball is how they're going to have to play tonight.
A couple of good looks that we have seen from Tennessee, not able to convert that left, just short iron from Cooper. And Asia Boone, step back three. And right now, both teams just trying to find their rhythm. 1 for 6 from the floor, both the Cats and the Lady Vols.
I think Kentucky, if they can get their defense set, they're going to make Tennessee play in a rhythm that they would, I'm not going to say uncomfortable, but it's not something they have normally had to do this season.
Got to get a shot up. Swings it over. Spearman gets it out in time, and that one rims off. So Boone pushing the issue with a path to the basket, holds up when she sees the lengthier Spearman in front. Morgan with the foul on the way. She got hit in the face as she comes down, grabbing what appears to be around her right eye. So the team still circled around her as Morgan tries to shake it off.
I think Asia Boone got herself in a little bit of trouble, kicked out to Toni Morgan. Then it was a mismatch. She found herself on Z Spearman, but it's the aggression. Just because Tennessee's bigs their back, Kenny Brooks wants his team to continue to attack the rim and get right there to the free throw line.
So Spearman picks up the personal. She'll go to the bench. Toni Morgan, the senior out of Tallahassee, Florida, who has been a great addition to this Wildcats team. Graduated from Georgia Tech, a 3-time All-ACC guard. And now she is shining bright here, 1 of 2 from the free throw line with Kentucky.
One of the only players in the country averaging 15 points and 8 assists a game.
Tennessee is looking to get going from home. Kim Caldwell says she didn't feel like the team has shot particularly well here in Thompson Bowling. Starting out 1 of 7, and Paulding kicks it out in the corner. And another turnover there by the Lady Vols. So a slow start to this one in Knoxville. A 4-3 early lead for Tennessee. SEC women's basketball. Sluggish start in this top 20 matchup between Kentucky and Tennessee. Well, we mentioned already a couple of key pieces out for both teams. Toni Morgan and Janiah Barker missing from tonight's game. And obviously we see the production that they have had this season and what they wish they had here tonight.
Well, with Tiani Key, I think the biggest thing that Kentucky misses without her is a post player who can bring it and let the guards get out. and she could bring it down in transition. For Janiah Barker, the key thing that Kim Caldwell talked about was her rebounding. Yeah, it's listed 6.9 rebounds a game, but she felt like today it's almost like missing 10 rebounds when you don't have Barker on the floor.
Well, Barker, who went out of last game against Alabama early in that fourth quarter. And for Tiani Key, you referenced this earlier, CP, how well she broke the press last year in this matchup, but she also had 18 points and 10 rebounds in that big victory, the largest for the Cats last year against the Lady Vols.
Yeah, Key's was playing some of her best basketball before she got injured. And in talking to Kenny Brooks, it may not be too long before we see Tiani back on the floor.
As we mentioned, out week to week with an arm injury, 5th game out for the preseason All-SEC selection. We'll see what jump starts these offenses. We've struggled from the floor thus far. Strack well out.
When you look at how Tennessee has scored their 4 points, offensive rebounds.
Patent fadeaway won't fall for Clara Strack. You mentioned the second chance points for Tennessee. Denia Prawl with the take to the hoop. And Prawl, the promising freshman from Toronto, all the way, part of that fantastic freshman class, second best signing class according to ESPN, 5 in total for the Lady Vols. And here comes Prawl on the defensive end.
KK Carroll's got to take good care of the basketball. She came in and gave Kentucky great minutes against Oklahoma. She's got to play like that night in and night out.
And how about the sprint to the hoop by Kyle Wynn?
Oh, that was Jada Civil.
Jada Civil, I'm sorry.
Hey, that's one of my favorite Lady Vol freshmen because of the energy that she plays with. This is a player, Civil, that you had to slow down. Not many times do you have to say that about a freshman.
A deep three for Paldo, no.
The freshman getting the steal, heading the other direction. But then here we go, Civil off the bounce. She is making so much better reads as the season has progressed.
Well, the terrific freshman that we talked about for Tennessee, as Talaysia Cooper has some help with Paldo, Civil, Paul. They're just continuing to add the pieces, and you've also seen there a number of substitutions, kind of hockey-style substitutions to keep the pace and the pressure on with this press for Tennessee. Inside, and Jordan Obi, right place, right time. First bucket in over 3 minutes for the Cats.
What did Kim Caldwell say over and over in shoot around? Do not get beat up the sideline, because she knows if that sideline gets overloaded and Kentucky can make a pass out, they're going to have runouts for the layup.
Morgan gets a hand on that one. And another look here.
When you're going to watch, here's Asia Boone right here coming up the sideline. So as you can let it go. As she comes up the sideline, you see all of Tennessee's players all coming to one side. What does that do? On the backside, you're going to be able to see Jordan Obi on the cut to the basket.
Stolen away by Morgan, finds Boone. Boone for 3. No, with that open look.
Boone really needs to see the ball go through the hoop. In that Alabama game, really struggled from the floor.
Paldo has it rim out. And right now, it just feels like there's a lid on the basket on both ends of the floor for these teams.
Now Paldo against Boone against Mississippi State, 3 for 16. And Kenny Brooks was like, they were all open and good shots. He's got all the confidence in the world, and I think that Asia's just got to show herself, remind herself she's a maker.
kick ball there as Boone was trapped, and it's going to stay with. They're going to have limited time to get the ball across half court here, so I have to be mindful of that as well for Kitty Brooks' crew.
And she only has 4 seconds, and the ball has got to touch somebody across half court.
Morgan understanding the possession, and too strong on the take, and ripped away by Jordan Obi for the rebound, and then wisely bounces it off Alyssa Latham. And Obi, who is holding her head right now, great hustle and effort on that last play, helped up by her teammates.
Talked about the Oklahoma game and the relentlessness this team played with. Jordan Obi was part of that. Look at her fly in from the free throw line to get a chance at the offensive rebound and not give up on the play, diving on the floor on the baseline.
Graduated from Penn, came over last year, missed all of last season with an Achilles injury. And again, playing a very critical spot at that 4 position. With Tiani Key out, they're going to need more of Jordan Obi, already with 3 rebounds. They dump it into her again. Wonderful find from Morgan, and better hands from Obi to put it in. It's a 1-point ball game. Called him behind the back on the runner, no. Morgan looking up the court. Asia Boone inside, zips it past Clara Strack. 4 turnovers now for the Cats.
And Toni Morgan, watch her read the defense. As she goes to the middle and the defense helps up, Jordan Obi makes herself available by dropping down to give herself space, not just staying on the block, and Morgan knows how to deliver it. Toni Morgan, 8.7 assists per game.
Second best in the country in terms of those numbers. And Morgan, who has also done a wonderful job taking care of the basketball in the process. And it's going to be muy importante tonight as Prawl knocks down the straight down 3. So again, those second chance points you talked about, Carolyn, 7 of their 11 points have come that way as the Lady Vols hold on to a 4-point lead under a minute to go in the first quarter. Morgan's pull-up won't go. And there's Jada Civil out of Vero Beach, the freshman.
You can tell with Civil, the game is slowed down for her, making a good decision when she brings it, not just playing like your hair's on fire, but very composed.
Cooper finds Paldo for 3. No, it bounces off. And a whistle on the floor. It's going to go against the Lady Vols. So team foul number 3 for Tennessee. Final seconds of the opening quarter here. Asia Boone guarded by Civil. Got to get a shot up. Doesn't do so in time. Great defense from the freshman to hold Asia Boone, but also Kentucky to just 7 points in this first quarter, their lowest scoring quarter of the season. A top 20 matchup from Knoxville. 1 quarter complete. You're watching SEC Network Basketball presented by Regions Bank, an 11-7 advantage for the Lady Vols here at home at Thompson Bowling Arena, start of the second quarter. Oh my goodness, who is this? Ladies and gentlemen, Carolyn Peck. But not only is this the fantabulous Carolyn Peck, okay, who played at Vanderbilt, coached here with Pat Summitt, won a national championship in '99 with Purdue, but also we celebrate this very special day and this small token of our love and appreciation. 60 never looked so beautiful, ladies and gentlemen.
Ain't nothing but bundt cakes, my favorite. So I'm gonna take a break for the rest of this half, and I'm gonna eat my cake.
Oh, wait a minute, there's more. We gotta hear from some folks, shall we?
Happy 60th birthday, girl! 60 is the new 30 the way you move.
Whatever you're eating, drinking, doing, can you let your girl know? Because that is goals.
You've made such an impact on our lives. You've had such an amazing life yourself. Thank you for being such an inspiration to so many women.
Happy birthday to you. From the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for everything that you've done for me, but also basketball in general.
What a blessing you are. We love you, we appreciate you, we adore you, and now we celebrate you.
I hope you have the best day ever for your birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh my gosh, that is the best, y'all.
We love you so big, Carolyn Peck.
I love all of you guys. Oh, you have made this day so very, very special to me. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
You are so special to us and to women's basketball. As that one's stolen away by Clara Strack. Out on the break, here's Tony Morgan. Finds Asia Boone, whips it across. Boone, good look for three, and it goes down. Well, you said she needed to see the ball go through the hoop. 53 threes on the season to lead the Wildcats. And coming back the other way with a twofer is Talasia Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper can be the answer for any team that tries to go on a run. But in talking about Asia Boone, she's had to handle a lot of the pressure. And you can get frustrated, and I thought that was great by Kenny Brooks to draw up a play to give her some offense, for her to knock down a three and get her feet back under her.
Morgan sizing up Cooper. Pulls up from the free throw line, just inside the paint. No, Clara Strack is blocked from behind by Cooper. And Talasia Cooper is a problem on both ends of the floor. The crossover elbow jumper, no. Offensive rebound brought back by Jersey Wolfenbarger.
But Cooper's got to be thinking, Clara Strack, the best post for Kentucky, already has one foul. You got to think, attack the rim.
Instead, she pulls up deep from outside. Morgan tripped up by Paldo. And Paldo with her first personal foul. The electrifying freshman out of Patterson, New Jersey. She and her twin sister Maya on the team.
And Mia right now playing the most minutes of the Lady Vols in Kim Caldwell's substitution pattern, because number one, she takes care of the ball, but also the energy that she brings on the floor. You're gonna see her bounce around everywhere tonight.
Strack, tough shot, won't fall. And I love the question that you asked about how do you maintain your time on the floor as Nia Robertson launches from three. She said, well, you gotta have a hot hand.
You gotta have a hot hand, but you also gotta have a motor.
And motoring down the other way is Tony Morgan. And Morgan helps to steady. And she's got 3 points now to go along with 3 assists. That one almost down for Robertson.
Yeah, but if you play for Tennessee, you can't worry about a missed shot. You better head the other direction. You see Robertson beating herself off on missing that one.
Amelia Hassett for three. And she knocks down the triple. Well, Amelia Hassett, who can stretch you out in that manner. Kenny Brooks wants to see more of those shots go down for the senior out of Australia.
What I'm watching for Kentucky in their 3 losses, they shot 32, no better than 32%. So if they can get into the 40s, this could be interesting in Knoxville.
Tough take there for Civil. She ran into the length of Kentucky. We talked about one of the best teams in the country with blocks. Amelia Hassett pulls up the 17-footer left short. Paldo for three. Is that the shot you want if you're Kim Caldwell?
No, I don't think so. She wants her team to attack the basket. Now, in the Arkansas game, the Lady Vols were much better at attacking the basket because that's what Kentucky is doing to you. If you establish in the paint and the defense rotates in, well, what is that going to do? That's going to buy your shooters time from the three-point line.
Well, Hassett, who is coming off an 11-point game and that loss to Mississippi State. You want to see her get revved up. Meanwhile, Kentucky with a 2-point lead here on the road against Tennessee. Cooper sizing up, and Jordan Obi knocks it out of there.
Alicia Boone is taking some punishment handling the basketball, breaking that press.
Boone settles. He can run the point as well now with Tony Morgan on the bench. Boone lifts for three, no. And Cooper out and running. Transition offense, a critical part as well. And the finish there by Boyd.
Yeah, it's the underclassmen for Tennessee. That's a sophomore, but the freshmen have really produced the majority of the offense. Talk about staying on the floor. Kanaya Boyd get more minutes. When you break out, once your team gets the possession and create those easy baskets.
The pace of play for this Tennessee team is sometimes as a breakneck pace, as Kanaya Boyd, who stepped off the floor after that ran back to the locker room. So on the floor for Tennessee, it's Latham, Cooper, Robertson, Prawl, and Civil.
Kenny Brooks is being very strategic with his rotations to try to keep fresh legs on the floor. Right now, Jordan Obi getting a break.
More than 4 minutes gone by in this second quarter. And a turnover by Kentucky. 15 all here. As Cooper is blocked by Hassett. Again, when you think about the length of Kenny Brooks' team, I mean, all but 3 players are 6 feet or taller. Obviously, without the services of Key tonight.
They already have 5 blocks tonight.
That height making a difference. So 5:48 remaining in this first half, and a low-scoring affair from Knoxville.
Okay, y'all just too much. I appreciate it so much. I feel so loved on my birthday today from all across the SEC. Because, Tiff, you know why?
What?
It just means more.
Just means How about it? Hey, this game means a whole lot as you're looking forward to the March projections. Charlie Cream's latest bracketology has Kentucky as a 3 seed, Tennessee as a 4 seed, but both currently in position to host as of now.
After review, Tennessee number 55 causes the ball to go out of bounds. The call will be overturned. It'll be Kentucky's ball on the end line with a 30-second shot clock. Kentucky will not be charged a timeout. Their appeal is successful.
So that successful appeal by Kenny Brooks gives his team the ball back. Remember, you can appeal as many times as you want. You're successful, you can keep on going. You're unsuccessful, you get charged timeouts.
And I think when you look at a game that's this tied, Kentucky had 4 timeouts. The appeal was worth it.
Trying to get it inside to Strack, and it goes back over to Tennessee. 5 turnovers now for the Cats. Correction, 6 now Civil on the tape, and the wide-angle layup goes in for Jada Civil.
The freshmen are producing the offense for the Lady Vols, and especially in that 5-out offense spread, challenging Kentucky to guard them one-on-one.
9 points so far from the first-year players for the Lady Vols.
Paldo finds Jada Civil, and she sizes up Amelia Hassett and turns the corner, recognizes there's no rotation there. So you challenge to the rim. You either get the bucket or get to the free throw line. Here she goes again, same play.
Once more, this time leaves it off for Latham, who finds Paldo. Over to Robertson, comes in a little bit closer. Nice dump and find, and pops off. Back iron, offensive rebound. And they're gonna say jump ball, possession arrow, Kentucky.
Denia Paldo, she brought her hard hat. She has worked inside for the Lady Vols. That's her 4th rebound tonight.
Prawl, the number 17 overall ranked recruit coming into this year. Paldo was so special, the highest ranked recruit at number 9 overall, but so much potential for this Lady Vol freshman class.
I'm excited about this one right here. Mia Paldo.
Because she can do things just like that.
She has that bounce and the confidence on the floor. And don't let the small size fool you. She brings dynamite on the court.
The 5'6" freshman, and Kim Caldwell says she loves her confidence.
Oh, because she understands the size that she is, and so she has read so many different situations of how to get her shot being an undersized player. Oh,
Strack
nice
with a nice move and gets it up and in. Clara Strack now with 4 points for the Wildcats. Civil back and take all the way. She and Boone hit the floor. It's going to go against Asia Boone.
That's Boone's first foul. And I'm sure that Kenny Brooks is challenging each one of his players. Look, you don't want to get over-rotated. You want to keep, because he said, what's the best shot we want to give up today? A contested 3. So he wants his players defensively to keep the basketball in front of them.
And make it difficult for this Tennessee team as it's rebounded by Hassett. And on the offensive end, he's asked his team to make shots as that one rolls off for Morgan. Here's Cooper back the other way, maintains the handle. Civil thought about the 3, gives it up, spin move, finds Paldo for 3, she got it. When you talk about just how bright the future looks here in Knoxville as Lady Vols on a 10-2 run, compliments of the freshman.
Look, Mia Paldo over the last 9 games, in 8 of those, she's been in double figures.
Averaging 14 points during that span.
And just the confidence and to know how to follow the ball handler to space out. When you know where to be, that gives you all the confidence in the world to pull the trigger.
Ball is life for Paldo and her twin sister, who have been aided and assisted by their parents who have fueled their dream. Dad DJ helped to build a court at their house, and just the roots of basketball run deep in the family.
Well, these women, they're about basketball, but they're more than that. These are business women. And Kim Caldwell got me and Maya. They got 2 for the price of 1.
On the strip, Asia Boone is called for her second personal foul.
That's something to keep an eye on because Boone has been instrumental in helping Tony Morgan break this press.
And Civil misses the first of 2 free throws. Jada Civil, who, if you've watched Tennessee play at all this season, she has shown flashes of what could be and can be during her collegiate career.
And I think her understanding her value to this team because of the energy, it takes more than what coach tells you at practice. You've got to watch yourself on film, take notes of that, and then make the adjustments.
An over and back violation going against the Wildcats, and Kenny Brooks is arguing that maybe that was not the case, as they'll appeal once again, and the officials will review it.
The call on the floor is a backcourt violation on Kentucky. Kentucky's appealing the ruling.
And I think he may have said, hey, there was a deflection or a touch there, perhaps by Tennessee in the process.
I got to see that again because I was watching the clock as Morgan was dribbling the basketball. It's at 23.
Oh.
So it was Jordan Obi that had the basketball.
And I'm not sure there, Carolyn, that appeal is going to be successful.
Yeah, because Tennessee didn't gain control on that deflection.
And what we heard, and any team coming to play this Lady Vol group, Kenny Brooks said, look, you've got to find a way to handle their chaos.
Well, and was Tony Morgan across the line? It was at 0, but the ball has to be in possession across the line.
And judging by that angle, I don't believe that she made it across in time.
It was close. Maybe tie goes to the runner back. They're taking a look at it themselves. Kentucky on the sideline.
Safe as show, Denise Brooks, Brenda Patoya.
No, she's not
in full possession of the basketball at that point.
Kim Caldwell was ready to make that call. She was about at half court.
And then conversely, Kenny Brooks ran to just about half court to say, wait a minute. Let's appeal this. And he's still grabbing the ear as we get the call here.
The call on the floor, I misspoke and I said that it was a backcourt violation. I meant to say it was at 10 seconds. The ball had never crossed the division line. So Kentucky will not be charged a timeout. It is a 10 seconds. The play should never have been reviewed. And we have a 10-second violation. It will be Tennessee's ball in the front court with 20 seconds on the shot clock.
So there it is, Tennessee forcing yet another turnover. 8 now for the Wildcats. So getting the further explanation as play is resumed. Civil already with 6 points. Paldo looks to make sure, feet are behind the line. The toes are indeed, and from downtown, the second triple hit by the freshman Leopoldo. Largest lead now for Tennessee as they've scored on their last 5 possessions. Final 2 minutes of the half. And a tough 2 to push off a little bit there to create some separation for Jordan Obi.
But the gold that Tennessee has found is Jada Civil being able to drive right. She's gone right every time, and good things have happened.
Dribble penetration has allowed for that kick out. You talked about playing inside out.
Now Kentucky's got to come up with a bucket right now. As this quarter half ends, you want to go in the locker room with a little momentum, and that's not a way to do it with a turnover like that.
5th of the quarter for Kentucky. Right now, Kenny Brooks' team is just trying to find some answers and some rhythm here before heading into the locker room. 1:19 and counting remaining. This is a group who, again, we talked about the importance of taking care of the basketball. They've done that all season long, averaging 11 turnovers a game. The pressure's been turned up here in Knoxville.
Well, it's been turned up since the SEC season has begun.
And a turnover back the other way for the Lady Vols. So Jordan Obi, who is set to inbound it near our table. She's got 7 points to lead the way for the Wildcats, 3 of 5 from the floor. Morgan to Strack. Strack finds Obi, who had it nearly swatted away. Lexi Blue goes right back to Obi. And loses it. Lady Vols looking to capitalize. Some miscommunication there, and it was deflected.
Oh, Kenny Brooks didn't like that one.
So Tennessee now with single digits to work with on the shot clock, 5 and counting. Prawl between a couple of defenders, and the whistle with 2 seconds left on the shot clock. It goes against Toni Morgan, her first personal.
The freshmen for Tennessee have stepped up big in this first half. You've got Mia Paldo, she has 8 points. Demaya Prawl, she's got 5. The contribution, Jada Civil, she has 6.
Kim Caldwell has talked about just the poise that she is seeing from her freshmen, the way that they have grown up, obviously making an impact on the offensive end, but she's also said defensively they have taken a big step.
Well, and when you come into this kind of system, it takes a while to get used to shooting it and still running to your baseline because you got to pick up full court.
And going the full length of the court is Toni Morgan, runs it in, and Paldo launches at the buzzer. It won't go. A 7-point lead for the Lady Vols here in Knoxville. Top 20 matchup between Kentucky and Tennessee. You talked about just how important the freshmen have been for the Lady Vols. Well, the Wildcats will need more of this from Toni Morgan in the second half. As we send it into the studio, Alyssa, what's up? Welcome back to SEC Network Basketball, presented by Regions Bank. Just about set for third quarter action here of this top 20 matchup between Kentucky and Tennessee from Thompson Bowling Arena. As we say hello and welcome you back in alongside Carolyn Peck, I'm Tiffany Green. And just how would you break down that first half?
Well, here's the thing. They say that once December hits, you're no longer a freshman, and Tennessee's freshmen have stepped up big. And they've also taken away the three-point shot from Kentucky, and Kentucky has really had to rely on their points in the paint. Now, Kentucky is 2 of 6 from 3, but they do have 14 points in the paint. I think they need to be less patient when they break the press and continue to the rim. Get to 2 and get to the free throw line. But we were talking about those freshmen. Well, you had Proud. She has 7. She got it done inside and out. And hey, Tiff, Jada Civil, don't let her go right because she just has had her way. And Mia Paldo, woo, she got on a roll. She has 8 points as well. The freshmen for Tennessee, they account for 21 of the 29 points that the Lady Vols had.
They got off to a great start, had 3 triples as well. And we'll see how the rest of this game plays out. Civil guarded by Tony Morgan. Talasia Cooper looking to get in on the three-point action. Wrestled down with Paldo and Boone going forward. And it's going to be Kentucky basketball. The Wildcats tied with their fewest point in any half this season with 22. They didn't have any bench points in that Mississippi State game, and once again, no bench points as of now. They are shortened right now and without Tiana Key.
But Kentucky breaking the press. When it came to Jordan Obi in the middle, she immediately thought dribble. If she'd have made one more pass, Asia Boone was over there having tea. She could have teed it up and knocked it down.
What adjustment do you need to see from Kentucky once they're able to break the press?
Break the press by, like Mike Neighbors said, punishing the press. Once you break it, go score and catch and look and kind of have an idea of what you want to do with it before the catch so that you don't resort to, well, I got to dribble it to hurry up and get across half court.
This Tennessee team, 17th ranked in the country, undefeated in conference play, along with South Carolina, who's in action tonight at Oklahoma, and also Vanderbilt, each 5-0 in SEC play. Coming off that screen as Morgan falls, Paldo finds Latham, who misses there, and Obi comes up with it, her 8th rebound of the game. Strack, who was out ahead, Boone waits for the offense to get across and set. Morgan on the take, rolls off. She gets her own rebound. The stick back won't go, and Strack is fouled as she tries to put it back in.
Morgan has really struggled with making layups, and I think that's going to be a point of emphasis for Kenny Brooks and his Wildcats. Those missed layups in a game like this, those are going to be huge.
We talked about just how good she has been, especially against ranked opponents this season. Better than 21 points and 54% from the floor, but as you mentioned, struggled so far here tonight. Needing a bigger effort also from Clara Strack, just her 5th point tonight. Remember, she was 11 for 11 from the floor in their February 27th meeting last year.
Well, when you look at Strack only has 5 field goal attempts, that's probably a problem. You got to get the ball to number 13 in blue.
Strack, who is a double-double machine, averaging that coming into tonight's game. 1 of 3 in SEC play as she takes a hard foul from Cooper. 4th Tennessee foul in less than 2 minutes into the 3rd.
When you think about that, with Tennessee fouling, that gives an opportunity early in this 3rd quarter for Kentucky to be in the bonus.
So Cooper will go to the bench with 3 personal fouls. Strack back at the line. Kentucky shooting 44% from the charity stripe tonight. Strack rolls it around. Paldo, you see the speed of Paldo quickly getting it up the floor. Spearman Boyd is fouled.
Kentucky plays a gap defense. So when you help in, you can't just help in with a reach like Asia Boone did. You've got to stunt and deter the ball handler from wanting to continue the attack. If you just reach in, that's going to put him to the free throw line.
That's where we find Kanaya Boyd. And when you think about this rotation, legs will be key down the stretch because Kim Caldwell, who plays a lot of players, 11 in total have touched the floor tonight for the Lady Vols, compared to 8 for Kentucky.
The Lady Vols have gone 2.5 minutes without scoring, minute and a half without scoring, and the faithful stay on their feet until the Lady Vols get a bucket. They're going to have to stand a little while longer.
Yeah. Tony Morgan going to look to get it across and does so into the hands of Hassett. And that one partially deflected. Baldo coming up with it. Mia and Maya on the floor. Mia with the ball in hand, 13 in white. Her sister right there, Maya, number 12.
Look, and these twins want to make that assist connection. They have not done that yet in their freshman year. Had an opportunity against Arkansas, and Maya wasn't able to knock down the three. She said she took full blame for that, so you can guarantee you, if that connection is made, she's going to be dialed in.
The twin backcourt has an opportunity right now. Spearman with 5 on the shot clock, so the Lady Vols got to get up a shot. Looking for Paldo, she puts it up, and Strack snatches down the rebound. She's got 9 now tonight. Hassett, who is in the corner for 3, and she's fouled. So she'll go to the line as Latham commits the no-no, fouling the three-point shooter.
Struggling to score on one end, and then, I mean, that was just a non-smart foul by Latham. You're beat. Close out, stutter into it. But last thing you want to do is foul a three-point shooter.
So Hassett just 1 of 3 from the floor tonight. Meanwhile, the shooting woes at the charity stripe continue for Kentucky, as they're now 5 of 12 with Hassett missing the first 2.
Kenny Brooks doesn't even want to look.
And that one goes in on the 3rd attempt. So neither team with a bucket so far in this 3rd quarter. Paldo looking to change that and does. Paldo, who is just so feisty on the court, so fun to watch.
Now double digits in 9 of the last 8 ball games.
That was a tough one getting into Strack as she peels.
This is why this freshman has gotten more minutes. You gotta have the hot hand, but you also got a motor. And Mia Paldo, look, she's in fast speed.
Yeah. Well, just how special was she in last game, right? Against Alabama, handing them the loss, snapping their 18-game home win streak. She was on the bench. Who fouls deep into the 4th quarter. She steps back and knocks down threes, much like Z Spearman did right there, capitalizing off of turnovers too, Carolyn. We talked about they forced 21 a game, 15 points now off of turnovers for the Lady Vols.
Yeah, off their defense has been much better for Tennessee than in their half court.
As the defender falls down, Tony Morgan takes the 3. No offensive rebound for the Cats. Inside to Strack. Double team as coming over to help was Prawl. Denia Prawl pumped up, and so are the fans inside Thompson-Boling.
Well, getting the stops, because where has Kentucky been successful in the paint? They're going to bring a double team anytime Claire Strack gets the ball down low.
Spearman is blocked by Clara Strack, one of the best in the country to do so. and then having a tough time getting the ball from underneath the hoop, and Brawl flexes after that make. Lead stretched out to 10. Once again, the fancy freshman for Tennessee.
The young will lead them. Kanaya Brawl put on her grown woman uniform tonight, playing strong inside for the Lady Vols and allows them to have a 10-point lead.
Swag surfing student section from Knoxville. Get into it, ladies and gentlemen. The 17th ranked Lady Vols with a 10-point lead. And you said the future is bright. The youth shall lead the way for Tennessee. How about this? 25 points scored by the freshmen for the Lady Vols.
They may not have been around last year when it was Kentucky who was the underdog to beat Tennessee, but they're playing like they got that motivation today.
And this group who has looked so special so far, Destiny Prawl with 9 points, Aldo with 10, Sybil with 6, and just a different type of energy that's been injected into this team.
Wait, when you look at how the freshmen are growing up, right now Charlie Cream has Tennessee as a 4 seed. Listen, it's like gathering Easter eggs. You want to accumulate as many wins as possible, so you leave no doubt in that committee's mind when it comes to seeding. They already are 3-3 with quad wins, and they have a net ranking of 15. So they want to continue to creep up, get those quad 1 wins, and improve their net ranking.
They've got a big stretch ahead of them. They'll have 3 games in 7 days, starting with Ole Miss Monday, Mississippi State, and then an annual showdown with UConn as that one falls in for Jordan Obi. Obi now in double figures for the Wildcats.
Kentucky right now, they are 7 of 11 on layups. Those are freebies. And you already talked about from the free throw line, they have left 7 points on the board.
Aldo tried to get the call there, thought there was some contact, no whistle. It's Morgan. And Boone in the corner. Here's Hassett, and Hassett drills it from 3.
Punish the pressure. Not allow Tennessee's defense to get back. If they're going to extend the pressure full court, you've got to make them pay on the other end.
And did so beautifully going up the sideline, as you talked about. Spearman trying to answer back the other way. And over the backboard goes to Kentucky as a media timeout on the floor. 4:52 remaining on the third. A 5-point ball game here from Knoxville. 17th ranked Lady Vols on top. Carolyn Peck, Tiffany Green back here with you. A close ball game, 2 possession between 2 top 20 teams. And we talked about Kentucky and what they have done to break the press.
Solving the riddle of breaking the press. You're going to watch. They're going to overload on one side, freeze it. Because most of the time in a press, you have 1 running each wing. Kentucky has 3 people running one side of the floor. That overloads away from the defense and allows the swing to get the open 3-point shot.
Well, you talked about just how strong of a 3-point shooting team Kentucky is, or how much they rely on it. So far tonight, 3 of 8 from long distance. Amelia Hassett has knocked down a couple. Perfect from downtown so far. Out of the break, it's Boone. Over to Morgan. Morgan who lobbed it in to Strack, and Strack will go to the line.
Yeah, points in the paint. Kentucky's winning that battle 16-12, and Kenny Brooks is going to keep the pressure on Tennessee's interior defense. And also, he's got some versatility with Claire Strack because she can roll off ball screens and handoffs. She also can pick and pop.
You know, she likes that patented 1-foot fadeaway. As Kenny Brooks' team, who is doing a good job on the boards, one of those areas of emphasis for tonight's game. 30 of 22 crashing the boards, but need to see improvement as the game progresses from the free throw line.
And now Kentucky has changed up their defense and has gone zone. It's going to be a matchup, and everybody has to talk and communicate what their responsibilities are.
Too strong from Robertson. There's Obi over to Morgan. Asia Boone looking as Kentucky gets their offense set. Slipped pass down the Strack. One-on-one with Spearman, tries to push through, no.
That's a frustration foul from Strack. She gotta understand, she didn't get the call. Too valuable to strap her down with foul trouble. She's got to let that go and get back on the other end. That's her third foul, or just her second foul. So she's got to make sure, though, still, with two, got to play discipline because there's a lot of basketball left.
In an area where Kim Caldwell said that she has seen from her team as they're holding to the lead is throughout games early in the season, they weren't coming together, or when they were in deficits, they kind of found ways to give the game away, but right now holding tight to the lead and sticking together, and the defense has certainly been a factor, ramping up, still in the two for Baldo.
Baldo gave it up, but she's like, give me that back. See, Asia Boone, I don't think she's daring enough. She looks to attack, but if it's just not wide open easy, playing very conservative.
Hassett for three, rolling, and it rolls off the rim, tangled up underneath Strack and Spearman.
Mia Baldo, she turned the ball over. She's like, wait a minute. Can I get a do-over? Scoops it up and gets the finish. Let me tell you, we had a conversation with Mia and Maya this morning. I love their energy. It's not just the confidence, but the presence that they have. These are women who know, they got to play it.
Yes.
They know what they want to do, what they want to accomplish, and how they want to get there.
You just know in talking to them that the sky is the limit for each of them, and they're doing it together. That's what I love about the togetherness. You talked about just they said the mental telepathy that they had, and obviously there's a special connection with twins. What'd you call it, the yin and the yang?
The yin and the yang, or fire and ice. I'm gonna tell you, these two, when you talk to them, they finish each other's sentences, but it wasn't just on the basketball court. Yes, they could play basketball, but they were also gymnasts, and they took some acting classes. They even auditioned for Annie in New York. They didn't get it. They should have, I think.
Hard knock life for them.
And they also were dancers, so they are used to being on a stage and performing, and I expect big things from these Baldo twins.
And I love just the way that they finished each other's sentences, cheered each other on, and just the love and support that you see between them. The first set of twins playing at Tennessee as Lady Vols commit the foul on Obi. There, Mia and Maya.
And how's the song go? Hype my bestie up.
Yeah.
Well,
that's my best friend. She's a real one. Okay.
Okay, but that's what Mia and Maya, that song comes to mind when I see these two together.
7th trip to the line this quarter for Kentucky. Jordan Obi, the lone Wildcat in double figures now with 12, closing in on a double-double.
Tiffany, I'm going to take you back to the Oklahoma game and how physical that game was. And what did Kenny Brooks do but ask his team to be relentless and go attack inside and not back down. We'll see if they have that same kind of fight here in Knoxville.
Robertson for 3! Dials it up deep! Robertson was very talented. Certainly had some success at SMU. Averaged better than 18 points, adjusting to a new role here in Knoxville.
Remember, the Lady Vols, like, they can extend their lead because of the ability to shoot the three. They make barely less than 10 threes a game. Look, everybody on the steps on the floor. They're a threat.
They put up 32 on average a game. I mentioned knocking down nearly 10 a game, but I want to go back to that Oklahoma game. That was their second top 5 win, and they did so at home. Toni Morgan has been a key in both of their top 5 victories, right? Against Oklahoma, and she
LSU.
willed them to victory. Against LSU, of course, she hit that game-winning shot. They need more Toni Morgan here tonight if they want to pull off a win on the road.
You're exactly right, Tiff. Toni Morgan only has 6 points so far. Clara Strack hasn't cracked into double digits either. It's been Jordan Obi that has done yeoman's work. 12 points and 9 rebounds.
Blew into Strack. It just made it a tough night for her all game long, forcing a turnover. Number 16 now for Kentucky.
Who was in there to defend? Jada Civil, another freshman. So it's not just point production that Tennessee's getting from the freshmen, but on the defensive side as well. And Robertson hit a 3. Keep an eye on number 1 in white. She's at the top of your screen, right there.
5 for 19 from long range. Civil saves it into the hands of Latham. Oh. Nice bounce pass, freshman to freshman, and Prawl is fouled. Great heads up and eyes from Jada Civil to find Nia Prawl.
You can tell she's making reads on the floor when she catches it. Not panic, but catch. And know that the defense gonna rotate up and a little pocket pass between the defenders to get the ball inside to Prawl.
We mentioned already the number 2 signing class by ESPN, the number 2 recruit. It's already committed to Tennessee for next season.
And Kenny Brooks has got to be looking at this stat sheet and look that they have 10 more free throw attempts and they're down 4.
Battle for the ball. They're going to say it's last touch by the Lady Vols.
Kim Caldwell's going to appeal.
Among the things that you can appeal as a coach, out of bounds, backcourt, change of possession, before foul with free throws.
Kentucky ball. Tennessee is appealing the ruling.
Or if a wrong player is charged with a foul. So those are the things that can be appealed. We're going to see who it's last touched by. Tennessee believes it was last touched by the Wildcats.
And you want to use an appeal if it's going to save a possession, especially when it's underneath your own basket and you have 4 timeouts. Ooh, that's close. That's close. But that's one you can gamble with because, I mean, you got the ball underneath your own basket. You got a 4-point lead. And you have to trust your players. Your players were doing the tornado because that'll be a teaching moment. If this is not overturned, then you have to have a conversation with your team. Look, don't call for an appeal if it is not 100% that you're in the right.
They win the appeal you can indeed keep a timeout. If you lose an appeal, you lose a timeout. And again, these are the appeal items that can be challenged on the court. As we mentioned, out of bounds violation, which is currently being assessed right now. And really tough to tell from that angle, Carolyn, because is there enough evidence to overturn what we saw? Now, it appears that maybe from that one angle, Jordan Obi may have touched it, but can't say with any certainty as you were looking at her fingertips.
Yeah, I would agree with you that was so close.
From another angle, we'll get a chance to see it.
I mean, if anything, it would be a jump ball. But they gave it to Kentucky. You see Latham's hands on it.
See, I'm certain Latham's hands were on it. It's just hard to tell, even though Obi's hands were close by. Did you see the ball trajectory change or any fingers move?
There is no clear and conclusive evidence of the ruling of the play. Therefore, the call on the floor stands. Tennessee will be charged a 30-second timeout as their appeal is unsuccessful.
Just said what we saw. It was tough to tell exactly who. So the call on the floor remains. It's going to be Kentucky basketball, and Kim Caldwell will be charged with a timeout.
So now both teams have 3 timeouts remaining in this half. Kentucky can go 2 for 1.
Hassett for 3 with a hand in her face. Amelia Hassett is 3 for 3, or 3 for 4 rather, from downtown tonight.
Pulled to a 1-point game. I say get the ball to Jada Civil. Let her try to penetrate, get to the interior of this zone.
Well, she was so effective with that in the first half, especially going to her right. Instead, it's Paldo. Has it tipped away by Strack.
Kenny Brooks talks about Amelia Hassett. Every time she lines it up, he believes it's going in.
Got to get it off. Civil heaves it up in desperation. No offensive rebound. And final seconds of the third quarter, and Paldo is off the mark. A 14-5 run for Kentucky to pull within 1 in this tight matchup. Top 20 from Knoxville. Fourth quarter action on the other side.
It's 31, ladies.
All right, thanks so much. Well, South Carolina, a big week for them. They've got, obviously, OU tonight and Vandy on Sunday. Here tonight, Tennessee trying to remain perfect in SEC play. They've got a 1-point lead going into fourth.
Well, but when you look at Kentucky in their 2 losses in the SEC, they only shot 32%. They're shooting a little better than that tonight. They're shooting 34%. So it's going to be important that Kentucky take good shots, and if they don't make those shots, they got to create those second chance opportunities. On the other side, Tennessee's only shooting 31%, and they're going to need to continue to get those points off turnovers. They're winning that category 19-5.
Should be an entertaining fourth quarter, but to your point, Carolyn, right here in the 2 SEC losses that you mentioned, kind of very similar in terms of numbers here tonight. Kenny Brooks hoping that will improve in the final 10 minutes.
Yeah, with them already having 16 turnovers, it's going to be crucial for them to take care of the basketball, because as this crowd gets behind the Lady Vols, their defense goes up to another level.
Paldo over to Robertson. Robertson picks up the dribble. Paldo, quick 3. And Morgan bats it over to her teammate Obi.
Smart play by the point guard of Kentucky. You can't grab the rebound, tip it to a teammate.
Mia commits the personal foul, her third.
Okay, this fourth quarter, go watch Kentucky. They got to get touches for Clara Strack.
Strack is 2 of 6 from the floor. And they
Going
go into her immediately.
Going against Spearman's going to be tough because they're matched up size for size. And there's a turnover.
Pickpocket from Cooper, puts it high off the glass. The kiss is good. Cooper once again, relentless on the defensive end. Quick hands. Robertson fakes the three. And Spearman launches long.
Well, Cooper has already reached her average with 3 steals tonight.
Again, just so tough for Clara Strack to get going here tonight. Morgan finds Hassett, another dead-on look for 3.
Tennessee needs to get a bite of the paint.
Instead, it's Cooper who knocks it down from long range.
I think Talasia Cooper might be the best two-way player in the country. With what she can do defensively and then buckets like that on the offensive end.
Second team all SEC a season ago, and back the other way is Amelia Hassett.
Temperatures may be dropping in Tennessee, but they heating up in the Summit.
Well played, well done. That Arctic blast coming over the next few days. And what Tennessee can't do is go cold from the floor as Boone, too strong. Hassett right there, and one. So Amelia Hassett making an impact in these short few minutes in this third quarter.
Well, smart move by Hassett. She knew that Boone was going to pull the trigger and got herself in rebounding position. The value of rebounding to close out this game is going to be huge.
Chance to tie up this ball game at the free throw line. Amelia Hassett, who has had 4 threes go down from long range. She's got 15 points tonight for the Cats.
Kitty Brooks going with a small lineup, trying to grab some minutes of rest for Clara Strack.
Right now, a 46-all ball game. It's been Kentucky and Amelia Hassett, who has put up all 6 points for the visitors.
Now Kentucky and Kitty Brooks they're being smart with their rotations because they already have 4 players that have played 30-plus minutes. Tennessee, no one has broken the 30-minute mark.
The platoon-like substitutions that we have seen and come to expect from Kim Caldwell's group. Paldo. Woo! Handles for days, jumper goes down. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what you get when you watch Mia Paldo, one of the best freshmen in the country in what has been a very talented class of freshmen throughout the SEC. The kickback, Morgan, plenty of time and answers right back. The point guard's going back and forth, freshman to veteran.
Right now, Kentucky's shooting 43% from 3.
Things heating up, and then the defense of Tennessee. But Kentucky grabs it back, and they also grab the lead back for the first time since the second quarter when it was 15-13.
You look at the difference of the three-point shooting. Kentucky is 6 of 14. Tennessee 6 of 27.
Hassett, short, may have been deflected. Civil.
Kim Caldwell told us she wants to see the ball get from side to side. That's going to create those driving lanes for the Lady Vols.
Civil working on Morgan. Yes! We talked about the flashes that we have seen throughout. Jada Civil is making them more constant as the season continues. Morgan, fadeaway, tough shot. How'd she do that?
Tony Morgan now has broken into double figures.
You don't want to wake that sleeping giant if you're Tennessee, but right now these two squads just trading buckets and lead changes going back and forth with just over 5 minutes to go in this one.
Game within the game between the 2 point guards of these two teams.
Kentucky looking for their 5th win ever in Thompson Bowling Arena. And Tennessee looking for back-to-back wins against ranked opponents in the Kim Caldwell era.
Look, now's the time Lady Vol faithful want to get into this game.
Well, right there, they can erupt on that tape and lay in for Mia Paldo. Paldo is something special, and she helps this crowd come alive. Lexi Boone, who was fouled on the 3-point attempt.
That's the second time that Tennessee has fouled a 3-point shooter. But this game has gone back and forth. Jada Civil, then Tony Morgan. We got a Lady Vols are trying to hang on to this 3-point lead, and it has been on the back of not an upperclassman, but a freshman. Mia Paldo has done it, attacking, being aggressive offensively. Yes, she's knocked down threes, but she's also, specifically in this 4th quarter, time after time, finding the seam of the defense and punishing the Wildcats by getting to the rim. This young freshman, Mia Paldo, has 18 points already tonight.
And when you think about just how some of the freshman phenoms throughout the conference and the way that Paldo stacks up against Aubrey Galvin, who's coming off a terrific game with the undefeated Commodores, Leah Chavez from Oklahoma, and Ace Austin as well from Alabama.
Look, these are 4 teams that are ranked in the top 25 that are led by freshman point guards. These young women have come into the league. They know the assignment.
3 shots on the way for Asia Boone, and if you think about how deep teams can go this year, we talked about past December, you're no longer a freshman. You grow up really quickly in the SEC.
Well, you have to. In the SEC, you got 9 teams and 2 knocking on the door to get into the top 25.
And then Charlie Cream's latest bracketology, 11 teams in total looking to make a push to the NCAA tournament. Come March, lots of season left to be played. Robertson thought about it, the closeout from Morgan. She takes it all the way in. See Spearman with the offensive rebound. And off the mark for Paldo, but tracking it down is Kanaya Boyd. Giving them another chance. Spearman this time launches for 3 and connects. Well, Carolyn, in this 4th quarter, we have seen both teams step it up. And now a 2-on-1 opportunity. Strack steps out, and perhaps a missed chance there as they had numbers.
She had Nia Robertson on her, smaller guard. You got to take that to the rim. Kenny Brooks is really wanting to get Jordan Obi back in the game. She's sitting at the table along with Talasia Cooper for the Lady Vols waiting there as well. I think this is what we're going to see in the SEC. These hard-fought games. I think the toughest league in the country.
No doubt. Got to get moving. Pull up with a defender in her face. Paldo! Don't turn your TV off, folks, because this lady right here can get it done. This is what you call a little muscle on the beat, yo. Mia Paldo doing her thing here tonight. 20 points, second 20-point game of her career.
Look, the shot clock running down, got a clock in her head, and knows she got to get to her spot. She is ready for the moment.
Carolyn, you talked about these fans were ready to pop off and really get into this ball game. And Mia Paldo has given them plenty of reason here tonight.
This is crucial right now for Kentucky, and calling this timeout. They have got to now answer the Tennessee run, the confidence that they have. They've got to handle this press. They've got to be able to get down and score to try to keep this fan base out of it, because this is what the Lady Vols feed off, this energy here on the Summit.
Retro bomber jacket night handed out to the first 500 students. The student section is plentiful. They love the fact that Tennessee has scored on their last 5 possessions.
Tennessee is prepared to not get beat over the top. Z Spearman back to play safety.
Another delay here out of the timeout. Remember, we started this game with a shot clock violation before we could even tip. And this officiating crew has done an outstanding job tonight. Provides the thumbs up and ready for play. Boone gets it across. This daunting defense from the Lady Vols. Hassett inside to Obi, and Obi, who already has a double-double, extending now to her point total. 14 points tonight for Jordan Obi and 11 rebounds as well. It's a one-possession game.
Tennessee needs to get the ball inside. They've got height advantage with Spearman, Latham. Kentucky was so patient in this offensive execution, getting the switches and mismatch, having Robertson in the paint. That allowed Jordan Obi to take advantage.
Claire Strack, who picked up her 3rd personal foul. Under 2 minutes to go. Top 20 showdown. Reverse lay-in for Tony Morgan. Made that look easy.
I got to believe Kim Caldwell was going to send a sub to the table. You get beat off the bounce like that. You know, now's the time coaches really find out who they can trust down the stretch.
Timeout taken by Tennessee. Let's look back to that Tony Morgan take to the hoop.
To know when to whoa and when to go. Tony Morgan, look, she knows how to handle that situation.
Coming in, just the way that she has lifted her game against ranked opponents this season. Tonight, she's got 13 points, right around her season average of 15, brings her team within 1. And just thinking back to when she donned a different uniform at Georgia Tech, those were her numbers. She's up things, especially as a facilitator now with Kenny Brooks, 2nd best in assists in the country per game.
Yeah, she's been called upon to be more of a scorer in Kentucky's system.
Again, shot clock winding down, and Paldo, who was fouled on the way, is slow to get up. And she felt that fall. as she rises to her feet with the help of her teammates.
That was a strong take by Mia. More importantly, that is the 4th foul on Clara Strack. Just like her shoulder got hung on the body of Strack. Strack was straight up, but moving in to the drive.
The freshman out of Patterson, New Jersey certainly brings a great toughness with her to Knoxville.
Now, she's from Jersey, and she is proud of that, but she got New York City experience.
Two-point ball game. Seconds and ticking. Traveling violation, and not the possession that Kenny Brooks wanted to see from his team as they handed over 20 turnovers tonight. That ties a season high for the Wildcats.
And you got to give credit to the pressure of Tennessee's defense. Because of how deep in the shot clock Kentucky can get, that means you've got to be locked in that much longer on the defensive end, and Tennessee has been able to do that.
Final minute of regulation. Tennessee holding tight to a 2-point lead, looking for back-to-back wins against ranked opponents. And to give a little revenge to Kentucky from a season ago. Spearman with time, looks down the 3, too strong. Paldo, no, as the shot clock expires. And it's gonna be Kentucky basketball.
Now, Kenny Brooks has got 2 timeouts. He not electing to advance the ball against Tennessee's press.
Interesting decision here, understanding just how much Tennessee can turn you over. But Morgan gets it across, no problem. Steady balls drop back. Sizing up, Clara Strack wide open for a 3, no. Hassett got a hand on it, and Cooper comes up with it.
Kentucky's got a foul.
And Morgan immediately comes over to do so.
Kentucky got a good look.
Indeed, that is the look that you don't mind Clara Strack trying to haul in and knock down.
Yeah, from a pick and pop situation, Morgan attracts 2, and Strack's got the look, just not able to knock it down. And Talasia Cooper inside to clean up with the rebound.
All right, let's take a look at time and score and where we are in this game. Look, Kentucky still has 2 fouls to give in this one before they send Tennessee to the free throw line, each with 2 timeouts remaining.
So what Kentucky needs to do right now, they got to sell out. They got to try to get a 5-second call or force a turnover. If they don't, they're going to need to foul right away. Now they'll have to look at, now Mia Paldo on the season shoots 92%. Tonight she is 1 for 2. I mean, Tennessee for the most part, not a bad free throw shooting team.
Shooting 67% on the season.
Spearman is 58%.
So on the timeout, Tennessee advances the basketball, barely gets it in. Spearman holds on to it, the quick foul there. So not much time taken off the clock. 10.6 seconds remaining. Expect Kentucky to foul quickly here again. But again, that's the person that you want to get into. A lot of contact between Hassett and Spearman, who both go to the floor. And so now, free throws on the way. Z Spearman with an opportunity to make it a 2-possession ball game. Despite being a 58% free throw shooter on the season, she's knocked down both here tonight.
Now, it's interesting with nobody on the line. So, I mean, Kentucky could get it and go and not call for the advance.
Missing both and takes the timeout there. 8.3 seconds left in this one.
Now, this is right in Kenny Brooks' wheelhouse. The execution, end of game, is something he works out every day in practice. Now, I don't know what his philosophy will be. On the road, more times than not, a lot of coaches go for the three to go for the win. Because in overtime, the home team could have the advantage. But in this situation, I mean, Kentucky right now from three, only shooting that now 35%. They're 6 of 17. If you're going to go for a three, look, I'm looking for Asia Boone, Tony Morgan, Amelia Hassett. They have options from the three-point line. And if Tennessee sells out to go out in the perimeter, that's when I go inside, because you can still get 3 points if you go into Clara Strack on Spearman, get the bucket, and a chance to go to the free throw line.
They will be paying close attention to Hassett, who was 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. Well, 4 of 7, rather, from downtown tonight. But again, Tony Morgan has excelled also in these late game situations.
And what Tennessee wants to do, they want to sell out. No threes. Worst thing that can happen to you is Kentucky scores a 2 and you go to overtime. But you don't want to bail out a shooter that's in the act of shooting. And if you force the shot, rebound like your life depends on it.
Here we go, into Strack, who gives it over to Boone, who has it stolen away, comes up with the time ticking off. A jump ball possession arrow goes to Kentucky. So they still have life, and Kenny Brooks still has 1 timeout remaining. And a dangerous exchange there as...
But who's involved in it?
Mia Paldo.
Mia Paldo has had her presence felt today as a reason she has played 36 minutes today.
The freshmen, as we've talked about all game long, have been so special here tonight. Now with 2 seconds left, Kentucky is going to look for the best possible opportunity. They have out-rebounded Tennessee. Amelia Hassett has been great, but Mia Paldo and this freshman class for Tennessee have really excelled tonight.
Well, you got to look to try to get a mismatch situation, something with a back screen, going to the basket so that Tennessee would have to protect the basket and you could get a 3. But you've got to have an action to the basket to attract the defense.
We've seen Tennessee foul three-point shooters a couple of times tonight. Got to make sure not to do so. Turned over, and that's it. It's Tennessee taking down Kentucky with a 60-58 victory. Back-to-back wins against ranked opponents for the Lady Vols as they move to 6-0 in conference play for the first time since the 22-23 season.
Well, again, Talasia Cooper coming up with a big defensive play on the ball. She's one of the best defensively. Tony Morgan, I'm not sure if she was trying to bounce it between her legs. That's a risky action. Or she was trying to maybe bounce it off of her because she couldn't get the ball in. But Talasia Cooper just too smart for that. And Tennessee is able to defend home court, 6-0 in the SEC.
And fourth time this season in the SEC they have held opponents to under 60 points, as it's the first in the Kim Caldwell era winning back-to-back against ranked opponents. A fantastic finish in ball game here from Knoxville with Tennessee on top for Carolyn Peck. I'm Tiffany Green saying we're out from Rocky Top as we send it back to the studio.